All right, so now we are actually going to create an event. So once again, just pointing out, we currently have 3 events here. Yeah, so we're going to go to dashboard, landing page. I'm not sure how I want to lay this out yet, so I'm still working on that. But the main functionality here that we're looking at is a new event. So one thing I just want to show is some form validation stuff. So even if I tried to submit this, I'd be autofocused back up here where we can see some actually useful error messages here. And let's just say I type something way too long. Once again, I get live feedback telling me that it's less, needs to be less than this amount. I don't need to wait till I resubmit again because that drives me crazy trying to guess what the form restrictions are. All right, so once again, this is fully accessible. Right now I'm changing fields through tabbing. So we're going to just call this React Conf headline. Bleeding edge, blazingly fast. Category, we're going to put in tech. And category, it's just, it allows for better filtering, tags, that sort of thing. So time. All right, now what is a private event here? Private event just, it allows you to set to hide the exact address and only give a general location. And remember on the previous page where we saw the map zoom into location, the map would instead zoom in to just a general location, not specific enough where the exact address would be leaked. The address here uses a what do you call it? Geocoding API to autocomplete the address and get the latitude and longitude for use of the map. So if we go to one place, Ville, yep, there we go. And you can see it autofills the rest of the forms. Public location, this is where, this is what would be displayed if you had set the private event, but it's also what's going to be on the ticket card. So we're just going to say Montreal. Oh, yeah, and then we need to select a hero image. Yeah, let's do this one. All right, there we go. We get immediate feedback when it's been successfully uploaded. This isn't actually uploading to my server. It's being uploaded to a Cloudflare blob storage, and then the reference, the URL, the publicly accessible URL to that is then stored as the hero image source. And this is a really cool part. This is the event description. This is a rich text editor. It saves HTML. Originally, I was going to use Sanity. This is the main content creation part of my self-rolled CMS. I was originally going to use Sanity, but their free tier had too many restrictions that I just couldn't work within. And this is a custom Prosemere implementation that I developed a bunch of plugins for and some hooks and APIs to work with it. So it gives you a very much so a Notion-like experience. You can drag these nodes around. All this renders into HTML. You have a live preview as you're developing it, as you're writing it, and you have a lot of really excellent low-level control over what it looks like. I can change the heading type. I can change the font, highlighting. Bolding. I can even do something a bit more complex, like turning it into a bulleted list. We're going to keep that as a heading for now. Now, what's even better, this is what made me decide to just create this myself rather than use an existing solution, is because there's a lot of formatting stuff I wanted to do that I couldn't really find on the free tiers of these other CMSs. So we can directly embed images to do this, and same thing, resizing it. And once again, this is all this is doing is creating an image element in the document, with the source being the public URL of where it's currently being hosted on Cloudflare. So when I hit slash and I go image, and I upload one, this uploads it to Cloudflare. Once I get a response from Cloudflare that it's uploaded, it then just stores a source of it. And resizing it, all this is doing, if we actually look at the the elements here, and I select pros mirror. Here we go. Where is this? Okay, yeah. So we can see the height and the width here. All this is doing is that it's just changing the CSS styling of it. It's just modifying the height and the width of it. So we can get a really nice, and once again, this is draggable. I can drag this back into these columns, which is really cool. Yeah, I can drag these entire blocks. And once again, we can also see a live preview. Oh, and the other thing I really enjoy about this is I was also able to figure out how to embed iframes. So what that means is I can directly embed a YouTube video. Yeah. And we can resize it. And once again, we can see this content rendered and interactive in our preview section right here. All right, so we have created our event description. Now let's make some tickets. So when we create a ticket here, this will actually create a Stripe product and register it on your Stripe dashboard. It'll have a product ID, it'll have a price, fulfillment, all that stuff is handled by Stripe, but it'll also store that information associated with the event in the database along with the actual Stripe product. Ticket price, we'll say this is 10. Payment type, Stripe, selected items, we'll say food. Submit that one, and once again we get a preview of the tickets. We can of course delete or add new ones. I'm gonna add another one. We're gonna go basic. This is gonna be 5. This one's actually gonna be a pay at the door ticket. Now, pay at the door is actually a pretty cool feature. What this does is it creates a Stripe payment intent and it marks this ticket as unpaid. So what that means is that when you go to the entry and they scan your ticket, they're going to get a big red alert saying, hey, this isn't paid, the Stripe payment intent has not been fulfilled. They either need to give you cash, in which case you will manually resolve the payment intent by clicking a button, or they will pay for it through a POS sale. Like a POS tap, like a Square tap or something. So we're going to say cash, included item. We're also going to say they get food. All right, so we're going to submit that as well. And once again, dark mode on this too, I think, and dark mode in the preview as well. All right, I think we are ready to create our event. And there we go, event create. We just got our notification. So now let's see if that event has rendered yet. So we're going to go back to events. Scroll this side. Look at that. It is right there, immediate. And this is, let's see how it looks. Yep, all there. Video is embedded. And now we can purchase a ticket to it. And we have our ticket descriptions here that we had also just made. And once again, I spent a lot of times on nice little, these little rotations, stuff like that. And we get ticket. And if we give it a second, should come through. And there it is. This GetActive ticket service, this is another thing I self-rolled. This is one of a series of rotating SMTP email clients or email domains. And all of them will work through React Mail and Node Mailer. When a purchase is completed through Stripe, it fires off a webhook, and I have a separate microservice that is listening for that webhook, or that has that webhook that's triggered, and will construct a React email or an HTML email, and it will send it to that email address. Now that webhook, it requires a Stripe ID, it requires an encryption key, it requires authentication. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that it can only be triggered by Stripe. It needs that signing secret, so it is fully secure. No one can kind of game the system by trying to hit that webhook with fake data to try and get a ticket. Yeah, so that. Yeah, you know what? Let's actually just in our dashboard, we can see React Conf here. We can set this as a featured event. Featured event set. If I go to, if I go back to events, we can now see React Conf as the featured event. If we go back to dashboard, go back to my events, we can delete one of these here, and of course it'll be live. We can search all the tickets sold. So, yeah, search the tickets. We can see the payment status, pagination. This one here, this one has payment owing, for instance. Same thing, we can search all the users. We can change the user role. So I can go edit user role, set them to user, reload the page, and we'll see that he is now a user and no longer has event creation or admin authentication or admin rights. All right, that is the project, or at least the templated. This is what an instance deployed to this platform would look like. Stay tuned.